We're welcoming back Ted Savransky, professional sports bettor and NFL analyst, and we're going to talk about some of the injuries that might be updated from the results from the wild card games and or any injuries that are coming to play with some of the teams waiting to play. So, Ted, first of all, welcome back. I hope you had a profitable weekend. What are your thoughts and what is your information that you have on any injury updates from any of the teams getting ready to go to the next round?
Sure. Let's start with Kansas City, New England. Where the Chiefs had injuries on the defensive line coming into last week. Everybody played. You know, they had Tom Bahali, Justin Houston, and Dee Ford all in the game. None of them were necessarily their dominant selves. All three guys are expected to go again this week, but none of them playing anywhere near 100%. KC lost Jeremy Maclin in that contest. An impact injury. We have not yet gotten full reports on how severe it is. There was concern that it was a season ender. That's not necessarily the case, but we don't know yet if he's going to be able to go this weekend. That very much an impact injury because Macklin's the only guy they have in that offense who can stretch the field. Two other key injuries of note for Kansas City. You know, they're missing a pair of linemen right now, and DeVerney Tardif and Mitch Morse. Both of whom are undergoing the NFL's concussion protocol. When KC started the season 1-5, it was at least in part due to the ineffectiveness injuries on that offensive line. And if they're minus two starters going into New England, that's likely to affect A, their game plan, and B, their execution. Meanwhile, the Patriots, of course, have done nothing but get healthier over the bye. Danny Amendola is supposed to play this week. Dante Hightower is supposed to play this week. Sebastian Vollmer is supposed to play this week. And Chandler Jones is also supposed to play this week. That's four impact players for New England. And
Amendola is one of the big ones, Ted. Games. You're right.
Then when we take a look at the next game, let's look at the Packers, Arizona. Green Bay lost Davante Adams. Don't know yet how severe his injury is going to be. There's talk that he could suit up on Saturday night in Arizona. And, you know, the Packers wide receiver depth isn't great, but Adams isn't a guy in my mind who'll move the needle. One thing for Green Bay, Sam Shields, who's been undergoing the concussion protocol, he didn't go last week. He may be able to suit up this week. And they're getting healthier on the offensive line. Brian Bulaga was healthy enough to go yesterday. David Bakhtiari may be able to go this week. That's Aaron Rodgers' tackles. And if he's got both of his starting tackles, that's certainly going to help him because he didn't have either one of those guys when he got sacked 8 times in Arizona a couple of weeks ago. The Cardinals, relatively healthy team going into their bye, although the late season loss of Tyrann Mathieu, my mind, is an impact injury. The only game they played without him, they got torched by Russell Wilson.
Sure did. Any other updated injury reports on any of the other games coming up, Ted, or is that pretty much a wrap for what you've got?
No, that's Saturday. We got Sunday to talk about still. You know? There's plenty more. Injury, we could talk about injuries all day.
Well, injury list, some of them look like a police report.
Exactly. Seattle came out of the game against Minnesota virtually unscathed. The only new guy on their injury report was the punter, John Ryan, who got a nice bloody nose in the first half, but he's expected to go. And the only real question mark for the Seahawks is Marshawn Lynch. I don't think he is an impact player for that team. I don't think he moves the needle for the point spread. For Carolina, this is a team that lost 2 of their top 3 cornerbacks down the stretch to season enders. That's a concern. But all the guys, all the banged up guys that missed Week 17, guys like Ted Ginn Jr., and Fozzie Whitaker, and on. There's about half a dozen guys that missed their Week 17 game. All those guys expected to be rested and ready for their wild card, for their divisional round matchup, I should say, against the Seahawks. And last but not least, we have Pittsburgh and Denver, a game that is off the board in many places as we speak. Some books have the line up, but you have Ben Roethlisberger as a question mark. He's no sure thing. I heard reports that his shoulder was separated. I heard reports that he's going to be fine for this week. That's going to have to play out over the next few days. Antonio Brown, who in theory is going through concussion protocol, although if you read the Bengals comments, Antonio Brown was winking at them once he made the move, and there were reports that in the locker room he was joking and laughing and singing, and that the concussion was all a bunch of BS, and it was a heck of an acting job. They said he should have won the Academy Award for that performance. But in the meantime, Brown needs to go through concussion protocol, and obviously the Steelers with Roethlisberger and Brown will look a whole lot different than with Landry Jones and no Brown. For Denver, the reports that I read from Gary Kubiak said this team's as healthy as we've been since August.
That's what I
The
heard.
only questions are Peyton Manning, and Manning supposedly in practice has looked rested and ready. So Denver, at least, is one team that is coming into their divisional round matchup as healthy as any team still standing.
Yeah. And there's always two other things, Ted, when it comes to the injuries. It's fun to watch how the coaches keep it away from the media so they don't have to disclose that player's out. And also another key factor, hey, you're at the absolute level where you want to be, so you better just bite your bullet and get in there, play injured like old school football, and get it done. That separates men from the boys in this. Well, Ted, thank you so much for your update on the injury reports with the NFL. Again, you and I got a big bet tonight in that college championship. You've got Clemson in the points. I got Alabama. Somebody's getting a trip, either to Vegas or Costa Rica. So best luck to you, and we'll talk to you again real soon, Ted.
Although not necessarily. If the game lands 7, we're going to call it that's a push for us, correct?
I thought it was 6.5 was the line we had agreed on.
I'm pretty sure it was 7.
Well, you know what? My producer will definitely get proof of that, so we will touch off camera on that one, because I got a feeling I got you on that one. All right, Ted, have a great day.
Let's find out, because I know I wouldn't be making a big bet. It's not that big a bet. We're talking about.
Well, I'm coming to Vegas, hopefully. So.
But 7's a push.
Okay, well, we'll check it out. We'll get back to you. Thanks, Ted.